Hello, welcome to another week in the garden. We're in the greenhouse at the moment, the first week in April, and we're having some April showers which are very good. First of all, just going to pop some leeks in while we're in the greenhouse. We'll do a little bit of beetroot. We'll probably do some cuttings because they're up here, there's nothing else to do. Right, the leeks, I don't know if you can see the seed in there. They're very, very small, very, very fine. We just want a little sprinkling on the top, and they'll probably, with a bit of luck, follow in the early potatoes. Once we've dug the earlies out, we can just enrich the soil and pop this in. I should put them all in, it's no good trying to keep seed. There you go. We'll just scatter a little bit on top, not too much. Nothing special there, you don't need vermiculite or anything with these, they just, there you go. Now the trays I use have got no holes in the bottom for drainage, which is not too bad when you've got seedlings in it. Obviously if we're growing big stuff in there we'd have to have seeds, but that doesn't matter. There you go. So make a label, always label up. Got some new labels this week, running out. We should just pop leeks. They are an F1, so we'll put F1, not really necessary, as long as we know the leeks. We just lay that down. I should just give the top a little bit of a dampening. Compost is damp, it doesn't really need a lot. It won't take a lot to germinate a seed. And then pop the lid on. In a few days they'll be up, take the lid off, so I don't leave the lid on all the time. Beetroot we put in. We put one seed per cell. These are for the early beetroot or the baby beetroot. And can you see, because they're this unusual seed that will produce more than one from a seed, you've got several there with 2s and 3s in. As they grow up a little bit, I should just remove one of those and grow them on. But that's the baby beetroot. Now we're going to put the main crop beetroot in now. The similar thing what we did before. Right, beetroot, we've done this one before, we'll do it again. Just make a scratch in the top with a stick. Look. You see, we'll just do a few just to show you again how we do it. Can you remember the seed? It's quite big, quite simple to put in. You just drop one in the top of each. You'll get more than one plant out, don't worry, because they're a multi-seed, I don't know the proper name of these things, but they have a name. Anyway, we'll grow these up, pop them out on the long beds. I'll only do a few for you. Cover them up for you, just do it with your finger, look, there you go. As always, mark up where I've got to and I know where to. Now, I know this year we're doing vegetables. Next year we'll be doing propagation, grafting and all the other things to do with the garden, the flower garden next year. But this year we're doing vegetables, but we need to take a few cuttings of one of the plants we kept through. Right, it's a basket plant and we've kept it through. I just wet the top of these because they've been sat waiting and they've got a bit dry while they've been waiting. So we just moisten the top of the compost. Normally the compost is quite wet. I've mixed it with some vermiculite just to make it so that it'll drain better, because you don't need a wet compost for taking cuttings. A board and a craft knife or a sharp knife will do. And I'll just fetch it. You need some rooting powder that we use there. If you're using rooting powder, which you will, there is a liquid as well you can use. I've got powder today, so I use powder. When I finish using this small amount, I'll throw it away, hence I'll put it in a disposable thing. Right, now the plant we're going to do, there you are. It's managed to get itself through the winter. Now, we don't want these plants, so we'll take some cuttings off it. I don't know if you can see it, I'll have to do it with this hand. There's the cutting we're going to take. We're going to cut just below the node. We're going to take that off and that off. Simple. Then we're going to turn it on its head and we're going to produce those 2 leaves. There's the cutting. I just drop it in there, just a touch, not a lot, and then into the compost with the vermiculite in. I'll do another one. There's the cutting that we're after. We'll take him off there, look. Drop it down. Always use a piece of wood, then you can get a fresh piece every time. Take that off. Take that off. And I'll do this so you can see just below the node. If we keep it still, there we are, look. Gone. Right, turn it up. We don't need, if you leave all these leaves on, they'll probably collapse. There's a green fly there. We don't want that in here, do we? Right, touch. And then into there. There you go. Right, when I'm finished, I'll do the whole tray for you to see next time. It won't take many minutes to do that tray. I should make sure it's nice and wet by using the spray straight away, not to get it on. Right, don't want that wet. Leave a tiny bit of water in the bottom to keep it moist. I shall cover up with that. Once it's done that, if you leave it like that, it'll just dry out in the sun through here. So I should put a single piece of fleece just over it, just to keep the strongest sun off and keep it warm at night. And 2 weeks, you'll have all new plants. Right, remember the boxes we've got out here, what you're going to grow some of the crops in. So now we're going to put some broad beans into one of these boxes. They're all in these paper pots, so I normally just rip the tops off like that, and I break the bottom of the pot where I'll show you this. Take it off and then just make a hole, pop them in. This is only in light compost, you don't need a lot on them. There you go. Let's do another one. Let's do this one, pick a big one. See, they're rooted through all right, but I always worry about them in these pots. So the bottom's all right. I just nip the bottom a bit. That's right. There you go. I'll put 6 in here, so that's 3 and 3, and then perhaps with a bit of lettuce at the front. See, they're well rooted through. But I always think if these pots are firm when they're dry, if they do happen to dry out, they will firm up again. And just tear that up. I'll put 2 more in for you. We're putting these in a minute down the garden anyway, so I'll show you how to do it down there. I have to give them away. There you are, just nip the bottom to tear it. I'm not keen on the bottom. And in. When they grow up a little bit, I'll put a support in just to hold them, and that'll be fine. Hello again. We're down the garden now. It's a bit colder down here, so I'll put my hat on. We're putting the rest of the broad beans actually in the garden. Same principle, but I'll take you through what I do, and then if you see, well, the ones I've done already, we'll put these nets on just to stop the pigeons from picking at them. We do have a pigeon problem around here, so that's as soon as they start growing, we'll take those off. We're doing them in the peat pots again. Now, a lot of you say, well, just put the peat pot in the ground, but I don't know, they seem to, if they dry out, they tend to hold the roots in, so I still peel them off. It seems wrong, but, and I always pinch the bottom out, as you can see, just break. You don't have to do that, it's just me. And I'll pop them in. Just like that, look. Oops. There you go, see that? We'll finish this bit of a row and then I'll show you how the... You see plenty of root down, but I just don't like this on. But there you go, look, I just pull the bottom out and pop those in. Not too deep. Two more. I don't know, let's have this one. Just support the plant while you do it. Pinch the bottom out. Plenty of April showers on now, so they'll soon give it a drink. Just firm it down a bit. Put one in there. I don't know, which one? This one. Look at the root on that, look. Beautiful. Put that in there. Line out and cover them over, just keep pigeons off for a while, and then we'll, as they come up, we'll stake them and leave them to grow on. Not a lot of trouble. We'll probably take the tops out to keep the black fly off when they get that far, and that's it for those. As soon as you got your beans in, put the nets on, don't forget to go along with just the end of the fork up. Keep it nice and tidy all the time, keep it loose. There you go, and I'll do that all the way along like we've done up there. It keeps it nice and ready for the next crop that we're going to put in next to it. Hello, we're having tea break in the greenhouse today. Yesterday we had big storms yesterday, hailstone, torrential rain, wind, so not going down the garden today. Top the potatoes up today, but while I'm at tea break I just sort of talk a bit about pots. There's pots of every size and description available now, from little thumb pots up to pots that you could sit in. They go up in the literage, and so there's plenty of pots available. Now if you're using pots every year, I've used a lot of square pots this year. They fit better on the bench, but when I finish with them, they'll all have to be rinsed out in some disinfectant and then stored away for next year. The other thing we use are these fibre pots. I like to call them disposable pots. As you can see, they're quite tough, and the idea is you put your plant in and you keep it wet and it disintegrates. The only thing is though, if you got it wet and it dries out again, it dries back to this and shrinks. So if your plant roots are growing through it and the top dries out, and by capillary action it will dry the rest, that'll tighten up and your roots won't get out. So I like these because I haven't got to clean them or anything. Any that's left over I just put on the compost heap and knock down. I like those, but also I like these. But these have to be disinfected for next year. And that's about it on pots. Let's have a cup of tea and then we'll do the potatoes. Right, I've had the cup of tea. We're going to cover these potatoes up. They've come up nicely now, so now we need to bring the compost up to nearly at the top of the potatoes, and then we'll let them grow again. So we'll do that next. I'll just show you. If you can see, look, we'll just put it in. You try not to throw it straight on top so you damage the potatoes. Just bring it up round them. No need to tighten it too much, because when you water them it'll tighten up. Straight over the leaves, don't worry. Perfectly alright. Keep going all the way up. Now we can only go to the lowest plant, covering too much up. This is the lowest one, look, so that will set the level. Just leave them peeping through. I'll water them later on today when it's cooled down a bit. And just leave them to grow again. That'll do nicely. Right, that's about it for now. Do some more next week. I'm just looking to see what I've bred. Plenty of stuff coming ready now. So have a nice weekend and hopefully I'll see you next week then. Alright, bye.